And now HayPro all of a sudden 1-0 in his group.
Yeah, HayPro should be feeling pretty solid too. He was actually down that series 0-1 to Muzzo. Came back to win it 2-1 with some great macro play overall. Great defense against the 2 racks that we saw. The 11-11 racks did pretty well in terms of defending it. And then, of course, followed up into a late game where he just knew he had the win, tech up into everything. So we'll see how he does against Protoss, though. I've only seen a couple of his Protoss games, actually. And it's nothing that's really stood out to me. He just plays very standard, very normal. And then it's followed up on his strong macro play. So we'll see how he does against Naniwa. Will he try to exploit the 4-6 fast expand that Naniwa loves to do? It's a question that we're going to have HayPro, or we're going to have to ask as we watch HayPro, and HayPro has to ask himself, am I going to punish Naniwa for what he goes for every single game? And we'll see. You know, like you said, he's not a DRG Zerg player. That can just...
Yeah, DRG's really aggressive.
Yeah, really
and
aggressive.
HayPro can turn on the aggression, but in the end, he's always gearing up for like a huge T3 push.
Yeah.
Versus... And HayPro's late game is scary if you let him get to that point, but a lot of people don't let him, ever.
Yeah.
And Naniwa is a huge timing person. He loves his timings. And then...
I love his Zealot Sentry timings so much, man. He was really the pioneer, you know, when there was... when Zerg would go for that early third base, Void Ray was really popular. He was the guy that said, you know what, I'm not going Void Ray. I'm following up with Zealot Sentry. I'm going to be aggressive this route, take out your third, and then if I have to force field myself on top of a ramp and be good to go. Like, he really pioneered that and really made it really strong, and a lot of Protoss follows those footsteps. It was really, really cool to watch. And it's one of those timings that still keeps around because it's so darn strong, especially with great micro. And of course, force field placement, which lately has been completely on key.
Absolutely, yeah. So like those connections are really, really important just to make for Naniwa, just because specifically Naniwa, his PVZ isn't the best, and who knows if HayPro wins the series, he's up 2-0 in his group.
That's huge.
And Naniwa's down 0-2.
And I think that's it for the night too. I think he only plays 2 and then 2 more tomorrow. That's actually really huge to go in to bed tonight confident, knowing that you're up 2-0 in your series. So HayPro really looking to pull the win here, of course. And of course, Naniwa wants to get himself back into pool play. We got the invite finally, it looks like. Just waiting for him to show on up, and there he is. Letting them know that we are ready when they are.
Yep, so we'll figure that out in just a second. In the meantime, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This is MLG Winter Championships here in Columbus, Ohio. I think I've been in California for too long, honestly. I say everything is California. You think Americans are kind of ignorant about everything being Americans? Californians are even more. They think everything's California.
Because they have nicer air.
They do. We have nicer air. We have nicer food. We have nicer soil.
Debatable. You have dolphins. Those are cool.
California can actually be its own country because it has enough agriculture, economy. We got so many sports teams, so we can form basically our own country for the Olympics. Just like Hong Kong has its own country for the Olympics as well.
Well, it looks like both players are ready to go.
Not convinced.
No, I'm listening, man. I think we should seriously annex
He's kind of upset because the Kansas City Chiefs are still bad.
Whatever, man.
Peyton Manning went on the market, and the Chiefs still couldn't pick him up.
Oh, my gosh. You're ridiculous. Why would you bring that up on stream? You're going to make me rage on you. Oh, my gosh. I thought Dan was my friend, but apparently he's going to be rude to me. So we're going to go ahead and hop into the match, guys. Naniwa versus Liquid HayPro. ZVP occurring right in front of your eyes. Feast your eyes on this. Again, Naniwa needs to get himself back into the pool and needs to win the series. And, of course, HayPro wants to extend his lead. Missing a drone there.
Yeah, he needs. Now, guys, when we say he needs to, it's always like a relative thing, like, oh, you know, maybe he can, maybe he can't, but Naniwa going down 0-2 in your group in a pool of 6 people. Keep in mind the way the championship pool works, 6 people per group, 4 are seeded based off the top 16, but tomorrow, based off the way open bracket plays, 2 more people per group will be seeded in. So we'll have a total of 6 people play, and the same exact thing where you play all 5 people, or you play the other 5 people in your group, and losing to 2 of them on the first night is never a good start. So Naniwa needs this series. It is critical for his tournament survival because, as anyone knows, every series that you lose sets you further and further back potentially in the open bracket.
And it can just ruin
the championship bracket
in general, man. Like,
yeah, in general.
That's so hurtful going down 0-2 in a series. So let's see if he can shake it, if he can get himself in to get himself in the pool and with a decent record, 1-1. In the top left corner, it's going to be Liquid HayPro, our blue Zerg player. Gonna like his position, man. It is cross positions. For our players. And down, Naniwa. Ooh, look at this. He just changed it. Look at, I even see your face, man. You're like, what? Naniwa. Not going for a forward fast expand. No, man. He is playing the safer route here.
Is this Naniwa for?
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask Cammy to go and check if this is actually
make sure
Naniwa
the right player is there. Yeah, and now has the probe going out.
Wow.
Pretty decent timing, and so yeah, playing pretty safe.
Who says a man can't change?
Yeah, that's true. I changed my clothes this morning.
Well, Naniwa is saving up a lot of gas. I'm sorry, a lot of minerals, and he has no gas. And interesting because we saw kind of the style that Sake did last time where he delayed his gas significantly and got zealots. And I think Naniwa was waiting based on scout. That's why he scouted really early. He scouted after his 9 pylon, and now he's basically trying to see if he can reorder his build. He's rearranged his build order, but for now, what do you think about his openings thus far? It's very different. He delayed his gas pretty significantly. He'll be leaning way more towards zealots, but
yeah, I mean, again, it should be fine if you're good to go. Again, the first simulator now has been thrown down. Question is, will he be throwing down a second one, or could he go for an expansion pretty early? There is that possibility. Checking over into HayPro, he went for the 15 pull into expansion, but unlike Rhett, he's following up with that gas immediately, which is interesting. I really don't feel like you have to grab that gas. You can grab it pretty fast third against Protoss. Again, you won't be seeing too much aggression, but the thing is, he did scout there wasn't a forward fact expand, so of course the safe play is to throw down the gas. Rather than kind of deal with a lot of pressure that can come by with just Link without speed. So actually I like that play. It was a smart actual read there by HayPro. Wasn't going to go ahead and lead, but there's a Zealot there, so going to go ahead and be content with keeping his drone there and keeping up with the scouting information. Going to steal that gas, just delay that. That is actually pretty huge. And that kind of limits Naniwa a lot in terms of a lot of build orders that he wants to go for.
I don't think HayPro knows about that pile on the low ground, but based off what Naniwa is doing, he can kind of assume, says, okay, wait, he doesn't have that much gas. And the idea is, well, how does he know that? If you click on the geyser, he'll see how much gas is harvested. Wait, that's actually a low amount of gas you've harvested. You showed 2 zealots. So Naniwa is basically revealed that he has an influx of minerals somewhere, and HayPro can kind of deduce that he's going for an expansion of sort.
Yeah, definitely. And he has to be able to scout that pretty soon as well. He's got links moving across the middle of the map. Wants to make sure, double check that that Nexus is there. Always smart in that. And he also has an overlord available for scouting as well. So, yeah, HayPro's going to like where he's at. He'll be fine. He's keep up with drone production at the moment. Checking in really quick. 25 to 18, actually finding himself behind in terms of drones, which is pretty interesting at the moment. Gonna go ahead and have the lanes going for the scout. 2 zealots. We're moving across the middle of the map, but he will see momentarily. Hey, there is that expansion. And a second, and there it is. So he's gonna like what he sees now. Will he go for an immediate third? That's definitely a possibility here. He's got speed about to finish up. He should stop mining gas, and he sure has as well. He actually quit after he got 100. He had 8 queued up afterwards, but just a little bit late in pulling those drones off. But overall, starting to even out in terms of drones. And you know what? He should be grabbing that third pretty soon. Again, he's gonna have some minerals floating right now. Yeah, he's at 300 mark. And yep, there it is, queued up and ready to go. So after scouting the necessary natural, getting an idea of what his opponent's going for, go and expand afterwards. And just make sure to defend the couple of zealots that are on the field. Get enough links to make sure you can actually deal with it, and you'll be good to go. Ooh, it's got Stalker here too, as well.
Well, Naniwa's going to put on a little bit of pressure here, just ever so slightly. Doesn't want to overextend, but he got information. He got fast third response. He's getting up his own, he's setting up his own pylon here, but he's actually not really he's not going to be able to put too much pressure. I mean, he's got 3 gateways, but realistically he has no sentries, so he's not going to be able to control space that well. And Naniwa warped in a couple units from the rear, but realistically, look at that. HayPro already got to surround. The reinforcement units are a little bit late here, but great Micro actually can save the Stalker. The Zealot's still doing some good damage. Now HayPro, all of a sudden, because he wasn't able to do that, has actually lost a lot of Zerglings. Yeah. And he doesn't have any spines at his natural. Now, Naniwa only has Stalkers, keep that in mind, and HayPro, the idea is he's making a lot of Zerglings, committing a lot of his larva, but Naniwa only wants the third cancel, so will he be able to get it? Looks like he's going to try to prevent his users getting surrounded. The Stalkers do end up getting picked off here, but one of them is just going to go down. The Zealots end up getting surrounded, and Naniwa will escape for just the meantime, but still putting on lots of pressure. He's not done just yet. He's still making probes and cannons back at home, so what do you think about this pressure Naniwa's doing here?
Yeah, I mean, he's actually doing really good here. He's still being leaked, and also notice we've seen no gas from HayPro. He's delaying a lot of tech possibilities here from HayPro by not allowing him to get gas, because HayPro is so content with trying to hold off the pressure. But it looks like he finally rotated up all the Stalkers that fall on except for one that is currently retreating at the moment. Pylons to clean up, and all the Zealots have been cleaned up as well. And we actually have HayPro ahead, 57 to 39, checking the Harvesters, 35 to 33, not too far behind, and with having a third, and a macro hatch that he actually threw up wherever he threw it up. Oh, because he threw one up. He's going to have a lot of larva available, another queen about to pop out, and he'll be able to keep up with drone production and find himself in the lead. Now he just goes to natural. Make sure no thirds coming up. It should be coming up in the next couple of minutes for Naniwa, 3 to 4 minutes, and just kind of just keep his pressure on the natural. Really, Naniwa put so much into that. He doesn't really have much at home to defend except for a photon cannon and a couple of sentries. So even though gas is delayed, I find HayPro ahead at the moment.
Yeah, HayPro's ahead. I mean, Naniwa did no damage to really prevent that third. HayPro kills off a couple of probes here for some of Lings. HayPro sees the forward chrono boosted as well, so he can deduce there's going to be some, at least some investment in warp gates of some sorts. We'll see that HayPro is actually transferring drones immediately. I'm glad that he's also delaying a lot of gas. He only has one geyser right now. So he's really making sure to get a huge income right now. Just kidding, he just finished second geyser. So he's now just slowly taking his gases and he's droning up really, really heavily.
Yeah, got 2 gases now, starting level 1 Carapace, grabbing a 3rd gas at the moment. Should be seeing a lair queued up pretty soon. Did throw down a Roach Warren, but hasn't queued up any Roaches, so yeah, there you go. There goes the lair. Had he thrown down a Roach Warren and started queuing up a lot of Roaches afterwards, I'd imagine he'd go for a pretty strong push, but he's going to be content with just taking up here, getting that Roach speed up whenever that lair finishes up. On 3 gases, he can afford another Evolution Chamber, maybe even a Festers afterwards as well. So actually grabbing another gas, 4th, 5th gas as well. HayPro really going to take up heavily here.
It's a slow aggregate supply of gas at this point, and the whole idea is just to slowly get your tech up, because HayPro's not, he's playing pretty greedy, but at the same time he's not like getting every single geyser at one point and absolutely killing his mineral drone saturation. He's doing it slowly over time, the more and more safe he feels. Now Naniwa is scouting, but more importantly he sees that all the drones count for HayPro is pretty high. If we look at the drone count right now, we'll see that HayPro is up 73 to 54 with more about the hatch. He does have a good amount of Zerglings though, and that's a big play.
Whoa,
wow, Naniwa with a big play here. And HayPro lost a lot of Zerglings. Now, they say, okay, well, Zerglings don't cost that much, but more importantly, you know, those Zerglings were important for scouting information. Now, HayPro's ability to be everywhere and potentially, you know, shut down the 3rd attempt kind of thing, absolutely obsolete. So with Naniwa, that's a small little win for his ability to climb back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, it cost him 5 force field, but definitely worth it. He kills off the scouting Lings there. And at the same time, we do have constant Phoenix scouting going on as well, using that hallucination to his ability. And HayPro, actually fearful of a push coming, has thrown down a number of spine crawlers, a lot of Roaches on the way, 22 Lings being hit up as well. Roach speed has been started, and +1 Carapace is about to finish up. So we'll be making it a little bit easier for HayPro to hold this off, but again, having those extra 20 Lings that just died would have been helpful and really just crushing this push. But you know what? It looks like Naniwa is going to do a fake pressure push. He had 1 Ling, I think, actually on the Zelnaga, and really queued up HayPro to throw up a lot of spine crawlers, a lot of Lings, a lot of Roaches, units that are made that aren't really needed at the moment, which is, of course, quite helpful in itself. 6 gas now been thrown up as well, and checking over into the main, do we have any other type of tech that's been thrown down? No, not yet. At the same time, Naniwa is grabbing his 3rd and has grabbed a Dark Shrine.
Yeah, right now Naniwa is trying to set up his 3rd, setting up his wall just to be a little bit more defensive. I actually really like this. Naniwa is getting Dark Templars, and right now he needs some sort of map control. He can't actually move out. He doesn't have any units to really shark with. He's got like a small gateway ball, but that's too easily surrounded based off the lack of mobility. He's getting instead a Dark Templar Shrine, and he's going to try to see if he can find some way to crush it. Now, mid-game DTs is still pretty underutilized. We've seen players like Puzzle, even, you know, players like Sage still love mid-game DTs. You can just snipe expansions and control the ability for Zerg to be able to take over the map. And Naniwa is doing the right thing by at least trying to do something here. And worst comes to worst, you just turn him to Archons. But at the same time, we do see that HayPro is teching up to really important things. Infestation Pit is about halfway done. His +1 missile weapons will finish momentarily as well as Aspire. So, Tim, what do you think is the outlook right now into this middle of this game? HayPro still has a small lead, but gauge right now what you think is how advantageous is he in right now.
Well, hang on. We have to see what exactly he's going to do here. He's wanting to get a little aggressive. He's got a number of Roaches, a number of Lings. He's got a lot of gas being saved up as well. Now, with the Infestation Pit going down, he's throwing down a Hive. So, yeah, it actually looks like he just wants to kind of rush Broodlords at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually Lings now running on. Gateways are actually in trouble. There is a couple of Warmers going down. At the same time, DTs are making their way straight to the natural. There's one Overseer already in, though. Lane counterattack going to the natural, and it looks like this 3rd will be saved, but probes are now going to be killed off here in the natural. DTs look like they have not been dealt with, actually. Overseer isn't in the right position. Lanes are still killing off. Looks like Zealots are not open there. They're actually on attack with Zealots and the AI there. They didn't do as much damage as needed. Finally, looks like the DTs were cleaned up. So, you know what? Overall, he really didn't do too much damage. Trying to break through this 3rd, but Stalkers, the force field are really pretty things happening. And HayPro attack, in my opinion, really hasn't done much at all. Yeah, not a single probe kill.
You know, and HayPro, it wasn't that bad of an attack by HayPro. Naniwa just did a stellar defense. He split off his units. He harassed also at a different front, and he's still doing it. Right now, you see this DT still killing off some units. And he was force fielding his ramp while rearranging his units accordingly. It was a good job defense, but he's going to have to be worried right now about this follow-up. As soon as this Hive finishes, and you know, when HayPro starts using his Hive Tech accordingly, it's going to be pretty scary because HayPro also has his 4th base. He's getting gas number 7 and 8 and his Greater Spire, and Naniwa is still trying to establish his 3rd base.
Yeah, I mean, finally he's got it nice and queued up.
Just transfer his bro.
Yep, War Prism on the way. Greater Spire has been queued up now for HayPro, so looking like he is going for Brood Lords. 5th hatchery now been grabbed as well, and there is a Lone Zealot trying to grab that Zunnaga. One thing to spot that, but overall, it seems like besides the 2 major techs, it's a really passive game between the 2 players. War Prism is on the way though, so hopefully that will go ahead and spice up the game a little bit, do a little bit of harassment in the main, while maybe a push to the 4th and the 5th down the bottom left corner. Try and spread out HayPro. If we've actually noticed tonight, whenever there's a lot of multitasking going on, HayPro seems to falter a tad bit, and it looks like Naniwa wants to try and hit that.
Well, you know, Naniwa is building up quite a force right now. He's getting stormed. Now, keep in mind, people say, you know, Protoss and Colossi against Zerg is absolutely ridiculous, but High Templars and Immortals are actually very devastating as well. Love this incorporation of the War Prism. Naniwa spots the expansion. Gonna warp in some Zealots, and gonna see if he can take out this expansion now. He's gonna try to see if he can pull HayPro, just, again, denying expansion, while he starts to reestablish some of his map presence here. He is getting a Stargate as well, would not be surprised to see immediately transition into a Mothership. And that's what you need to do as a late game Protoss. Try to see if you can get that swing of units, that perfect composition, so you'll be absolutely devastating. And still try to see if you can keep up your harasses. Naniwa right now trying to incorporate that War Prism and keeping HayPro on his toes.
Well, it looks like he's splitting up his units right now. He does have some units available to go ahead and get a flank on whenever he does drop his Zealots. Looks like Corruptors have come on the field. They're going to try and deal with the War Prism, but Stalker's still moving forward here. And I like that they're using just the Stalkers. There's a lot of mobility with the Stalkers. They can get in and out if need be. Gonna go ahead and get into the car, and nice amount of things here for HayPro. And a number of Spine Cores, so really anyone can get in there. Gonna go ahead and do a little bit of Blink Micro. Stalkers have been warped in as well, and actually only kills off 1 Stalker, so some great retreat there from Naniwa. But he's getting to that point where he's starting to hit 200.
Naniwa is actually not doing a death bow at all. He's sending out small packs of units. This is Zergins are trying to see if they can go for a flank. Whoa! Naniwa completely sectioning off 1/2 of the map, and it looks like the Brood Lords are not even able to really reach it. But the Fungal keeps the sentries in place, and Naniwa is getting completely surrounded. HayPro trying to see if he can go in and dive the army, but HayPro does not able to get the Stalkers as Naniwa forced to abandon sentries and Immortals.
That was huge, actually.
Wow.
Catching those sentries with the Fungal allowed the Roads to keep constantly attacking them. But once you get off the sentries, effectively, HayPro has to, or Naniwa has to pull back. He can't engage on his terms. Now he just has a number of Stalkers on the field. They do have 3-0 and upgrades. He does have High Templars now with the Psionic Storm, and can make Archons if he needs to be. But look at all these Brood Lords pushing across the middle of the map here. And as long as HayPro is careful and doesn't allow the Stalkers to blink underneath them, these Brood Lords can do so much damage. And they're shelling away on this Nexus that just completed at the 4th. Stalkers now going to blink underneath, and here's where the Lynx Roaches come in. A nice storm though.
Wow.
Take damage, they come in and defend. That was really well done there.
Oh, it looks like Naniwa's going to blink forward, and great positioning here by Naniwa. He's going to force himself up here into the corner and take out an enormous amount of Roaches and blinks to the high ground. Whoa, my goodness, here Naniwa with fantastic micro, and from a situation that HayPro 90% of the time should have been able to take, Naniwa has swung over an even supply count and establishes 4th base economy.
That was such an awesome use of Psionic Storms.
That was nasty.
He was like, you know what, if you're going to defend your Brood Lords, you're going to take a lot of damage, and he sure did. Lanes and Roaches were melted under that Psionic Storm, and of course the Brood Lords, with no support, died so darn fast. He had Stalkers blink on the high ground so he could deal with the rest of the units on the low ground. Well done.
Where was his Infestors?
Yeah.
Where was it? He would have prevented the blink, would have been able to catch him, but I mean, I guess Naniwa did manage to kill off some of them, but HayPro didn't have them with his army. That was the most important thing, and HayPro...
He only had a few on the map earlier.
Yeah, he only had 2 or 3, but it would have helped just keeping some of those Stalkers in place, preventing them from being able to blink. As right now, Naniwa finds himself not in that terrible position. You can see the poise in Naniwa, that even if he's behind, he can try to force himself into position. And now his Mothership is about 30 seconds away from arriving onto the battlefield, and that's a game changer here, Rob.
Now Stalkers with the Absorber are going to go and have an avenue to do some damage. Patrick taking a lot of damage going to the yellow, now into the orange. There are some units on the way. They're going to try and get this around, but it looks like they will go off. Hatchery is killed off, and now the Stalkers, without taking a loss, will blink away. Nice harassment there from Naniwa. That's what you got to do, is keep the Zerg on a low amount of base if possible. Now going to go ahead and keep getting some units here. Now actually a Mothership that just came onto the field, moving her way towards the rest of the army. It looks like a pylon will be killed off there by HayPro, but overall, Naniwa is just really showing poise in this game and doing so well. I'm completely impressed by his play right now.
Naniwa, right now, let's go ahead and check his upgrades here. We see the fact that his upgrades are at +3, but absolutely nothing else. He's completely bare. And HayPro, he did get his missile attacks up to level 2, I believe. So he does have some things going on, but more importantly, he doesn't have flyer carapace. And you see that oftentimes late game Zerg's been prioritizing that. We see players like Leenock, late game, has +3 flyer carapace ready because he knows the Blink Stalkers are coming in. So HayPro is trying to see if he can catch up in that department, trying to buy some time here. And at the same time, he's pretty limited by gas. You can see he's racking up quite a bit of minerals, but that's because he has been trying to make a lot of infestors and Broodlords a very gas-heavy composition.
Yeah, it's very natural. You know, late games have a lot of minerals floating around. It just Zerg, when it gets to the late game, when it gets to the high tech, gas is so hard to come by, especially when you have your base constantly being denied by harassment. So Naniwa also looks like he's going to grab his mid base in the top right corner. He will be, it looks like, fairly on 4 bases. As his main has been mined out, but it looks like he's secure with finally pushing out now. He has finished up 2 box bay. He does have any Colossi on the way. Yeah, he has 1 on the way. Thermal lanes have been cleared up. So he's going to have a lot of area effect. He's going to have High Templars, Archons, then of course the Colossus is going to help out on the ground army. So we'll see if Naniwa can take it. 197 to 192 supply, moving across the middle of the map. His micro is going to have to be on point when engaging this army of HayPros. It's already nice to spread out, actually. Look at that Broodlord spread, man.
Wow.
Well done.
Yeah, HayPro does not want to get Vortex. He's seen so many videos of White Raw, no doubt. It looks like we do see Naniwa flanking a little bit, but we see HayPro actually tries to see if he can corner him, but Naniwa blinks forward. Now that's usually a sign of confidence, but we do see that Naniwa backing off immediately. His High Templar trying to get in position, but they're getting picked off. The High Templar are going down without a fight, and there's not real much going on there. We do see the feedback on one of the infestors, so there's no real ability to fungal there, but that was a very dangerous situation for Naniwa. That could have turned out really badly.
Yeah, Naniwa didn't seem to realize how many Broodlords were actually on the field, and that's a lot, man. They really can just shred through Stalkers, even if you do blink underneath, because that's so many Broodlings really messing up the AI and whatnot. Yeah. So now following up with the Void Rays, we have 1 on the way, actually, and once you get a couple of Void Rays in the mix, we'll be feeling a little bit better, but that engagement did not go well.
Well, Naniwa did free up some supply rooms so he can get Colossus and Void Ray, so perhaps he was trying to bait a little bit to free up some supply cap. And, you know, now the fact that he's taking over half the map, it's really important, actually, because when Protoss starts to split the map, then they really take a fortified position, because if you think about it, Metalopolis is really 2 alleyways. Yeah. So, and if you can really divide that in half, it'll be a really good advantage. But look at that, HayPro using a lot of supply tricks. He's at 214 to 200. We could see a potential huge engagement, which could decide a huge portion of the map. Vortex catches about 5, 6, 7, 8 Broodlords. Oh no, HayPro flying more. Broodlords getting a little bit careless there. And will Naniwa send his Archons into position? He knows he wants to get there. He wants to see if he can intercept them or potentially engage, but he actually backs off.
Yeah, he does too late. Man, if he would have gotten those, look how many Broodlords he would have killed off. Oh my god.
That was... Yeah, that's 14 Broodlords.
Yeah, that's a lot of Broodlords.
Wow.
That's a lot of gas down the drain. Gonna go ahead and keep moving forward. The Broodlords though do have the oh, another Vortex does go down as well. Rubbers from the top side taking whatever the mothership gets some damage on it right now. A little bit though. Mr. comes in though. The Colossi get focused down. Stalkers,
oh no, he's sending him in.
There go the Archons. Are they gonna make it in? The Broodlings are trying to make a little bit of wall to finish up. And though is it gonna be enough damage? A lot of the Broodlords do go into red, and a few do explode. Feedbacks have gone down as well. There's only a few more Broodlords left. Is he gonna be able to do this stuff? The Archons doing a lot of damage. Cage is being thrown down to mess with the AI. But it looks like Naniwa has made the push through.
Wow, Naniwa doing a fantastic job putting a lot of damage here on almost all of Zerg units. HayPro barely escaping with any units remaining, but it's all about who can resupply faster. Naniwa, of course, immediately working on his mothership. Is he going to be able to protect it? Great force fields here to prevent the Zerg from getting surrounded. And it looks like the changelings even trying to see if he can bait Naniwa in. Naniwa completely surrounded, but these Archons do absolutely sickening amounts of damage.
28 kills, 43 kills. So many Zerglings kill with that splash damage.
Wow. So collectively, 70 kills there, and a lot of larva wasted there by HayPro. Now HayPro waiting for 11 Broodlords to finish. Naniwa, knowing he's immediately backing off. Love the incorporation of Spine Callers. Of course, HayPro doing his fantastic job utilizing those middles in some way or form. I mean, late game, you don't necessarily need that many drones. You need army, and you're going to be able to use your drones just to set up a wall for those Stalkers to really bypass. Now, Naniwa still continue to expand, while HayPro's technically been on more bases longer. And so HayPro is now trying to take the center, but Naniwa is going to use his War Prism to harass a little bit. You see War Prism speed also being researched, so maybe we'll see Naniwa trying to incorporate that into his play, but he's targeting down this hatchery, and these cells mean business.
Yeah, man, with 3-2 upgrades, it can tank some of those hits from the Spine Crawlers, and they're going to get the hatchery down. once again. That is the 4th time this game that Hatchery has fallen. And with Broodlord being on the field, really HayPro can't move across the middle of the map to clean that up, so he just kind of lets it go down. Gonna throw down another Hatchery up as well. Now, where is that War Prism? Hasn't been pulled back. Yes, it sure has. I would like for him to go to the other side of the map now and throw off HayPro a little bit. But now, HayPro tired of it, gonna move on forward, has a nice amount of roaches and links. No infestors, no, in this army competition, is still moving forward. Stalker does see it, and now we have Naniwa positioning to go ahead and intercept this army that is moving across the middle of the map.
Robin, we have been so privileged because we've seen so many great games, but Naniwa and HayPro are playing an immaculate game right now. We see that HayPro is actually moving out here, but his Broodlords are out of position. No, his Stalkers are going to be able to target down immediately, and the Mothership covers out a huge portion of it. Doesn't have enough for a Vortex. We do see HayPro getting a congregate, but storms everywhere. Naniwa's going to be able to blink forward and chase it. HayPro is now on the retreat, and it looks like General HayPro calling back his forces, but his roaches refuse to retreat here as the Stalkers from Naniwa are on hold position here, trying to fortify this watchtower, and we do see that Naniwa is going to push back HayPro, blinking forward yet again. HayPro dropping to 120 supply, and Naniwa's supply is going up. For the first time this game, we see a difference in supply rather than even, and Naniwa right now 146 to 121. HayPro is going to lose this expansion to the center of the map.
Naniwa breaking through, and of course it goes back to no infestors being on the field. He can't bungle the Stalkers into place, so the Broodlords are free pickings for the Stalkers whenever they get to a point where they can blink behind them. Well done by Naniwa, and a good eye there, noticing there was no infestors available. Hatchery does fall, and it looks like he is taking the center of the map again. It looks like a War Prism is about to do another drop once again, as this Hatchery has finished up, and he's still moving forward. He knows he can take on these roaches, and Link Stalkers blinking forward. Overseer being picked off at the same time as well. Colossi are starting to join in the fray as well. Level 3 army's about to finish up. Is he going to warp in any Zealots? It looks like he's too busy dealing with his army in the middle of the map. Rightfully so, though. He's been doing very well with it.
Now, one thing Naniwa is, some people saying, why isn't he just finishing off HayPro? Because he doesn't know the capabilities of Zerg right now. He doesn't know if HayPro remaxed immediately and he's overstepping his boundaries into creep. And so, you know, Naniwa says, okay, well, he's going to go back and poke a little bit in about a minute and see, okay, Zerg actually didn't remax, and that's when he's going to find out that he has an advantage. Because right now, Naniwa, his supply is only climbing because, again, he just recently took another expansion, so he's doing a good job. Look at him, harassing still and keeping HayPro uncomfortable right now. You can see that no workers have really been killed. Both players have been pretty staunch in their defense, but, wow, look at that. Naniwa is still even saving up his units, making it very cost effectively, and that's kind of been the name of the game. Despite the fact that Naniwa lost a lot early on, ever since then he's been really cost effective.
Oh man, where does the game go from here? All the bases have now been taken over. This hatchery is going again once in the middle of the map, and eventually, if we keep having contention like this, where it's kind of close, and we can't have Naniwa really close to the game, it gets to a bit of a war of attrition, which I feel like Protoss is always better in the late game. And it looks like Naniwa might be wanting to go for that route. He's constantly going to keep an eye on this hatchery and wait for Liquid HayPro to make a mistake. Going to whip in some units again. It looks like down in the bottom left corner, just finding avenues to do any harassment they can. Hatchery has been killed off here in the middle of the map, and now we have Naniwa moving towards the main. He's going to force Liquid HayPro to deal with him on two fronts, as these Stalkers are doing a nice amount of harassment, and actually HayPro defends pretty well, but HayPro is now moving forward. Is he going to blink straight into the main?
He could opt to do that. He's going to see if he can hit some of the tech here. This is going to just blink forward here. Looks like HayPro trying to move up the top of his ramp. He's kind of caught out of position, but Naniwa's just going to blink straight back down. Yeah, he's going to try to see if he can catch Zerg out of a good spot here on the map. HayPro looks like he's going to try to see if he can target these last expansions. Now, a smart thing to do is if Naniwa shuts off the remainder of the resources from HayPro, go directly, not for the heart, but try to see if he can just cut off the limbs at this point, because HayPro can't really resupply whatsoever because he's starting to get low on gas. He's now in double-digit gas.
Yeah, man, a lot of Broodlords have been working once again. Has brought a couple of approaches, but again, no more infest. He's going to try and go for another engagement, trying to move down the position. It does take a couple of hits. There are always kids in the mix to help out, seeing any Colossi that might be on the ground. But there's a spray in the ground moving to pieces. Broodlords are left. Vortex going down on a few Broodlords. The Broodlords that are left are sniped immediately. Naniwa takes the game, 189 to 88 supply, and damn, that was just game number 1.
GG, so that was a fantastic game played by Naniwa.
Both players.
And HayPro played very well as well. Unfortunately, HayPro just a couple times engaged without his infestors and just gave Naniwa the opportunity to max. And after that point, I mean, it was just kind of like at an early point, HayPro kind of had the lead. But then after that engagement, they kind of evened up things, and then from that point, it was whoever outplayed each other. And Naniwa did a fantastic job. You can see the confidence he had blinking forward his Stalkers, because half the time when I see that engagement, a lot of people just kind of get afraid. But Naniwa knew exactly what he did. Vortex beautifully in a position where it zoned off HayPro's Broodlords, and whenever HayPro tried to engage with his Broodlords, lost about a huge portion. And Naniwa just did an excellent game. from top to finish. Actually, okay, well, for the beginning, his opener was a little bit shaky, but about after 7 minutes in the game, Naniwa played it brilliantly.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to commit your stalkers into Brood Lords like that. It is so hard because
you don't know where the infestors are.
Yeah, you lose. A lot of players leave their infestors in the back because they're there for support to land the fungals. And if HayPro had 4 or 5 infestors ready to go on a hotkey, game's down too high. Okay, we'll put it down. Lands a couple of fungals, stalkers get stuck, Brood Lords destroy them off, and that's GG. Period. It takes a lot of cojones, a lot of guts to actually do that. And Naniwa is showing, man, he is not afraid of any Zerg, and really being a huge contestant here to make the group play 1-1 for him. So, great game number 1. We're going to go into game number 2. It looks like it will be dual site. I'm going to turn down the game sounds because apparently they're a little too high. It's kind of hard going back between 2 different gameplay streams, but let's turn down the sound really quick. Ooh, it's at 100%. Ew. I'm going to put it down to about 41.
Absolutely. So
guys, let us know on Twitter.
We'll tweak it, but yeah, let us know. Tweet at either Robin and I, and you can tweet questions, comments, concerns. You can tweet anything. If you want to hate on us, you can do that too. But if you want to give us encouragement and feedback as well. Some people are telling me, you know, you can do this and you can incorporate this into your style of casting. Those kinds of things help. Guys, there's a reason why we're here and not on the main stage, because eventually one day we'll be able to work our way up, and we just hope that you guys will help us. And that's why we appreciate every person who tuned in, especially because you guys are the premium users. You guys are the ones who actually help MLG stay sustainable. So you guys, your viewing experience matters to us a lot. So let us know how we're doing and how we can improve.
Agreed. Wise words from Frodo Nova here, just really nailing it on the head, guys. We appreciate it.